20 doctors have lost their lives. NMA has lost 20 of its members as a result of COVID-19. You may want to confirm that or refute it, but isn't that a good reason for the NMA to also say, you know what, maybe we should step into this, research angle as well, given that it is something that you also do, so that we can at least mitigate our frontline soldiers, which are members of your organization, in this fight?
Well, I completely agree with you. First of all, whether 20 or one person, one doctor dies in the process, is a big loss, not just to the family, not to the individual, but even to the country. We don't want anybody to die in the process of serving his own country. That is why we talked about infection prevention and control. And we believe that we're working with federal government, PTF, and Federal Ministry of Health. We need to continually train our health workers, doctors, nurses, and anybody who has something to do with patients on infection prevention and control. We need to do that.
Doctor, I was speaking, Professor, I was speaking about
money.
the research angle.
Have the luxury of money.
One moment. I was speaking about the research angle that you talked about, that, maybe we should, maybe it is something that the NMA, research unit or department can take on.
Yes, that's what I was coming to.
Okay.
What I was saying is that in doing so, we need the support of PTF and the Federal Ministry of Health, because the NMA does not have luxury of money. We need funds that will make people move out. What we can supply, which we have the capacity and ability to do, is those who will carry out this research. What we don't have is that we don't have sufficient funds to move around the country. So what we need to do is to interface with the PTF and Federal Ministry of Health so that they can provide funds for us. And as we're talking about fund, the issue of hazard allowance has now been, is no longer discussed. And we will take on the Federal Ministry of Health and Labor and Employment very quickly in the new year, because we cannot continue to increase the risks and subject our doctors and nurses to the hazard. The hazards are too many. And we think that this is where the government, and I'm happy, and I'm grateful to Mr. President for mourning with us, for losing many of the doctors. In fact, not just to the doctors, but to the Nigeria and the economy and the practice of medicine. So in this case, I am happy that if we now approach the Federal Ministry of Health and PTF, they would come face to face with us so that we can discuss, because we have the manpower to do this, but what we don't have is the enabling environment, including funding.